श्रीमत श्रीमद अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की, इसकान फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की, नाम आचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So today, welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class, and today we are reading the words from Canto 3, Chapter 25, the glories of devotional service, and the text 2. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So text 2. Nahi hasya varshamana pumsam varimna sarva yoginam vishrutau shruta devasya bhuri trupyanti me swava. Nahi asya varshamana pumsam varimna sarva yoginam vishrutau shrutas devasya bhuri trupyanti me sava. Nahi asya varshamana pumsam varimna sarva yoginam vishrutau shruta devasya bhuri trupyanti me sava. Prabhuji. Bhuri tripyanti me sava. Nahi asya varsha varimna sarva yoginam prashutau shruta devasya bhuri tripyanti me savaha. Nahi asya varshamana pumsam varimna sarva yogina vishrutau shruta devasya bhuri trupyanti me sava. Nahi asya varshamana pumsam varimna sarva yogina vishrutau shruta devasya bhuri trupyanti me sava. So word to word meaning: na, not; he, indeed; asya, about him; varshamana, the greatest; pumsam, among men; varimna, the foremost; sarva, all; yoginam, of yogis; vishrutau, in hearing; shrutadevasya, the master of Vedas; bhuri, repeatedly; tripyanti, are sated; me, my; asava, senses. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Saunaka continued. Please repeat with me. Saunaka continued. There is no one who knows more than the Lord Himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature yogi than He. He is therefore the master of Vedas, and to hear Him about Him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. Purport, please listen carefully. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko bahunam yo vidanti kaman. He is the supreme living entity and is supplying the necessity for all other living entities. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya varshamana pumsa. Amongst all living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person because no one is richer, more famous, stronger, more beautiful, or wise, or more renounced than he. These qualifications make him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they can become as good as the Lord Himself. Sometimes the devotees are actually more powerful than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession. Also used here is the word Varimna, meaning the most worshipful of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore, he is known as Govinda. For by his words, by his teachings, by his instructions, by everything connected with him, he enlivens the senses. Whatever he instructs is from the transcendental platform, and his instructions being absolute or non-different from him. Hearing from Krishna or his expansion or plenary expansions like Kapila is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives the great pleasure, the more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he gets the appetite to read, understand it, and each time he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of transcendental message. Similarly, we find the transcendental happiness in Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Paita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So once again, welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. So today we are continuing reading the chapter 25 from Canto 3, the glories of devotional service, and the text 2. So before starting, welcome to Adipurush Prabhu, because I was learning Bhagavad Gita from him almost in 2009 and 2010. So I'm sitting in front of him speaking, though I'm not qualified. So please forgive me if I commit any mistake or offense, knowingly or unknowingly. So, if we see the chapter from from last few weeks, we have been reading the pastimes of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. If you see the old pastimes like Devahuti and Kardama Muni, it gives a nice message of how to follow the ashrama, this varnashrama. Like, so if you see from the beginning of the Kardama Muni story, so when he is the father and son of Brahma, and Brahma instructed him, Kardama Muni, to propagate the progeny. But what he did immediately, he started tapasya for 10,000 years, right? So it's like a brahmacharya state. He didn't start his immediately grihastha. He followed almost from longer duration. He did severe tapasya and austerity as a it's like a brahmacharya ashram. Then when the Lord Vishnu appeared, and with the help of with the blessings from the mercy of benediction from Vishnu, he started grihastha life where he got married with Devahuti. And even after the marriage is started, after marriage also, he was continuing in his austerity. And Devahuti was doing selfless service to her husband. Again, this is the Gruhasthashrama. And Devahuti was doing selfless service. And after some time, Kardama Muni realized that, this Devahuti is doing selfless service. And then he started the family life. He created a big aerial mansion. And then they got 9 daughters. And then as per his previous word, Kardama Muni wanted to start the renounced order of life. But Devahuti was saying that she was still not having the fearless state. So then Kardama Muni told, after getting the son, who is Krishna's supreme personality of God, Krishna, the Kapila, then he said he will start his renounced order of life. So as per his thing, so after the Kapila the Supreme Lord took the birth as a Kapila in the family of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So Kardama Muni decided to leave. This is where he is starting the sannyasa, vanaprastha and sannyasa ashrama. So before leaving for starting the this sannyasa, renounced order of life, then he started glorifying Kapila Muni, and he got the permission, and he left the forest to start his renounced order of life. That is how the brahmachari ashram we can see, gruhastha, and then he started sannyasa. Not only that, if you see the Swayambhuva Manu and the Devahuti's father is Swayambhuva Manu, even he is an emperor, but based on the qualities of Kardama Muni, so he thought that okay, even though he is not a king, but he has decided to marry Devahuti with Kardama Muni. So we can see all these, how the Gruhasthashrama is going on with all the following proper Vedic injunctions, Vedic rules. They are nicely following all the various ashramas in the right from brahmachari to renounced order. This is how we can learn from this pastime, where everyone, each and every role, a person following the proper ashrama rules and regulations. That is how we can see from these pastimes. So after the Kardama Muni left the forest, then here Shaunaka Rishi. So if we understand, the Bhagavatam was spoken at different levels. First it started with Suta Goswami at Naimisharanya is speaking to Shaunaka and all other sages assembled at Naimisharanya. And then Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and then Maitreya Muni and Vidra, right? So these are at the various levels the Bhagavatam was discussed with. So in the today's verse, the Shaunaka is glorifying, he started speaking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his qualities and his glories. So if you see the purport, in the first section of the purport, it was mentioning that Supreme Personality of God is the topmost. No one is superior than Krishna. In a few weeks back, we were discussing about the qualities of Bhagavan. There are 6 opulences where Supreme Personality of Godhead he is possessing. These are all in full. Nobody can be more superior than this Krishna in terms of those qualities. So one of the qualities is knowledgeable. So in the same thing, in this verse, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. So all other people who are in this conditioned material world, no one is knowledgeable than Krishna. So even though when Krishna took in the material, when he came to Vrindavan, in the material earth planet, he took the incarnation, he appeared as a Krishna, and in the Braja, he already, like other normal beings, he went to Sandipani Muni and he learned everything. It's not that he's learning, he's getting the knowledge through this process, but the why he went to the Sandipa Muni and he learned just to set the standard that everyone has to follow the proper rules and regulations. Going to the spiritual master, learning from Guru spiritual master, to set the path he followed. But he doesn't need to learn all those things from Sandipa Muni. Before that, he's a Bhagavan. So he knows his knowledge is full. So that is the reason he's a full in knowledge. No one is more knowledgeable than Krishna. Just a minute. So, in terms of the knowledge, there are two things. One is material knowledge, other thing is spiritual knowledge. I was listening one of the lectures. It was nicely, I think it was Srila Prabhupada lecture. It was nicely clarified what difference between the material knowledge and the spiritual knowledge. What is the material knowledge? It's just information. Whereas the spiritual knowledge, it brings transformation. Like how the example, Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual knowledge. When we read Bhagavad Gita, we get to know what is our identity. We are not the body, we are the soul. And what is our relation with Krishna. And in the current material world, we lost our relationship, connection with Krishna. And our duty is to re-establish connection with Krishna. All these things were covered as part of a spiritual knowledge. So when we hear these instructions, when we follow these instructions mentioned in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, what will happen? It brings transformation. That is how material knowledge is just information, whereas the spiritual knowledge is, it brings transformation. So this is the nature of the spiritual knowledge. So the Krishna is, no one is more knowledgeable than Krishna in terms of the spiritual knowledge. And we can see some examples to prove that. We can see some examples how Krishna is more knowledgeable than anyone. If you see we can see the reference from Bhagavad Gita, first chapter. In the chapter was explaining how the Kurukshetra war was the scene, setting the scene of Kurukshetra, right? So in one of the last verses of the first chapter, where Arjuna was telling, my body is trembling, my hair is standing on at the end, and the Gandhi was slipping away, my skin is burning, right? And finally he said, I am surrendering to Krishna, I am your disciple, please save me. Why? Initially, before starting the Mahabharata war, he was well prepared to fight with Kauravas and Pandavas, Kauravas and other enemies. But once he reached the Kurukshetra war, what happened? His mind has changed. He was into confused state by seeing his grandfather, his spiritual, his guru, and all other brothers and relatives. By seeing everyone, he thought, okay, I have to kill all these people. Then he started having he entered into, his mind has changed, and he was into the confused state. Now what happened? As soon as Arjuna surrendered to Krishna took before that he was behaving like a friend, Krishna and Arjuna. But as soon as Arjuna told, I am surrendering to you, you are my guru, then Krishna started speaking Bhagavad Gita. So he spoke Bhagavad Gita in one of the conversations on the morning walks of Srila Prabhupada. It was mentioned, it was spoken Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield, it was spoken for maximum half an hour to 1 hour. So within the short span of time, what happened? He completely transformed Arjuna. Right? Before it was a confused state, and from there he understood his real identity. Whatever is a Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mameke Shanam, he has to abandon all the varieties and surrender to Lord. Whatever Lord instructs, he has to follow. That is what he got a clear conviction from the discussion. So this shows that the Krishna's knowledge, within a short span of time, he completely transformed Arjuna. This is the potency of spiritual knowledge, and this is the Krishna is supreme among all these knowledgeable people. And we can see that even Uddhava also, we can similar examples we can take, how we can prove that Krishna is more knowledgeable. So after finishing his pastimes in the Dwapara Yuga, and then Krishna was about to go back to Goloka, then Uddhava was very in deep separation, right? He was very in sad state, he was very feeling separation, he was in separation mode. And when he spoke to Krishna, you take me back to Goloka with me. So, but what Krishna spoke to? Uddhava Gita. And he finally instructed to take the renounced order of life and meditate, and finally you come back to Godhead. So that is how it transformed. Even in the current chapter, we can see Krishna appearing as a Kapila, and he's giving the knowledge of Sankhya. So this is how we can see various examples, pastimes from Krishna. We can understand Krishna is Bhagavan. No one is more knowledgeable than Krishna. And Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All these pastimes and everything is proving again and again that he is knowledgeable, he is supreme, and he is Bhagavan. And the next quality is mentioned in the translation is, no one is more worshipable or more mature yogi than he. So Krishna is a master of all mystics. He is Yogeshwara. This same quality, so the Bhagavan quality, again, Krishna, no one is a more better yogi than Krishna. So Krishna is the master of all yogis. So how we can understand this? Same thing was confirmed by Queen Kunti as well in her prayers. The verse is, Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vishnu Rishabhavani Dug Rajanya Vamsha Dhahanana Pavarga Virya Govinda Godija Surarat Haravatara Yogeshwara Kilakiro Bhagavan Namaste. The last line, Yogeshwara is the master of all yogis. Yogeshwara Kilakiro Bhagavan Namaste. He is Bhagavan. So here also Queen Kunti is mentioning that Krishna is Yogeshwara, master of all yogis. So what is the translation is saying? The verse, O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distress of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the perceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and offer you my respectable obeisances. So this is how Queen Kunti is also glorifying Krishna, Yogeshwara, and he is a Bhagavan. So she is offering her obeisances. These are some of the references. Many other places also it was mentioning. So here also we can see how the Krishna is exhibiting his mystic powers in various pastimes. If you see Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, one of the pastimes is Trinavarta pastime. If you see Trinavarta pastime, before that killing Trinavarta, what happened? Mother Yashoda was holding Krishna, was a small baby, but suddenly Mother Yashoda was feeling heaviness. She was unable to carry Krishna. This we can see Krishna's mystic power, right? So then what she said, she kept him down. Then after then he became very light. Then Trinavarta came in the form of wind and took him into the sky. When he to the sky, again what happened? Krishna started increasing. Right? We can see all this mystic power of Krishna. And finally, Trinavarta, as per Krishna's desire, he brought him back to the earth. So later he killed. So this is how we can see. If the Trinavarta is a yogi, all mystic powers, Krishna is better yogi, the mystic power, having more powers than Trinavarta. He changed all the weight, heaviness and lightness. He showed different siddhis, and through that he killed Trinavarta. So this is how we can see Krishna is. Not only that, if you see pastimes from Ramayana, Ravana is also he was also so many mystic powers he was having. But finally what happened? He was killed in the hands of Lord Sri Ram. So there also, even though many people are having yogis, but Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is always proving that he is the Yogeshwara, so master of all mystics. Not only that, even if you the Hiranyakashipu, all the demons, they were having so many mystic powers. But Krishna is, Supreme Lord is always killing them or making them to surrender to Krishna. This is how he is proving again and again. And there is another pastime where I think we can see in Vrindavan. So Krishna with his Balram and other Krishna with friends, Gopas and other cows, he used to go out. And one day, they were feeling very thirsty, and they took the water. They drank water from Yamuna, but the Yamuna's water was contaminated due to Kaliya serpent. Right? What happened? Everybody fell unconscious. It means they all dead. But with the small glance of Krishna, everybody came recovered. They got their consciousness. So these are all various examples. Even we know the pastimes of Dwaraka, where we all know that pastime where Arjuna took the vow that he will protect all the sons of the Brahmana's son. The Brahmana's wife was delivering the kid, but as soon as she delivers, the kids were disappeared, right? So Arjuna took the vow that, okay, he will protect now. But again, he failed to protect. Then finally, he was about to sacrifice himself. Then Krishna took him to his chariot. He was going into the sky and he crossed all the material world. Before crossing the material world, before entering into the spiritual world, the darkest region of the material world came. Even his horses were not hesitant to move in the darkness. But Krishna took the Sudarshan Chakra, he created the light, to that he went passed on to this material world. So there are various examples. Even we can see Brahma Vimohan Leela as well. Like Brahma was doubtful when the Krishna was playing with all the small gopas, and with one hand he is eating the food and other hand he was taking the food from other gopas' mouth. And Brahma thought, okay, these boys cannot be Supreme Lord, right? Then what happened? He wanted to test. He took all the gopas and the other cowherd and cows, everything he separated from Krishna. Then what Krishna did? He created again in the same, he incarnated himself into all the gopas and cows. And so with all these things, we can see that Krishna is Yogeshwara. And even if we see one more pastime from Srila Prabhupada, there was a nice pastime with Srila Prabhupada and P.C. Sarkar. P.C. Sarkar was a famous magician in India at the time. And one day they invited P.C. Sarkar to one Gurukula where Prabhupada was staying. And he showed so many magics. And some of the magics, I think Prabhupada was standing on the dais with a table, and P.C. Sarkar was staying at the left side or the right side. And then he started showing magics. He was disappearing the coins and taking from Prabhupada's ear. And even though some people didn't like that, but Prabhupada was laughing and enjoying the P.C. Sarkar magic show. And then at the end, Srila Prabhupada told, okay, you are doing so many magics, but I am greater than you because I can, the birth, old age, disease, everything, I can disappear from this place. Can you do that? Then P.C. Sarkar told, no, sorry, I cannot do. So this is what we can see. But here what we can understand, the Srila Prabhupada didn't learn any magic, but what he is relying on Krishna. Krishna is the Yogeshwara. He is the master of all your mystic powers, right? Prabhupada is not himself is doing any magic, but he is a devotee of Krishna. He is surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, with the help of is using his magic powers and making is fulfilling Prabhupada desires. So what we can understand from this example, so if you are a devotee, if you are following the Krishna consciousness, you don't need to learn all this mystic yoga powers, and you don't need it. All you need is surrender to Krishna and take the shelter of Krishna. Then with the Krishna's yoga mystic powers will make you, he will help you to achieve the whatever spiritual tasks you are. So it will help you, he will help you to finish those tasks. So like example is, suppose if you are a son of a big richest man in the world, like the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, these are the world richest persons. Suppose if you are one son, you don't need to work for you don't need to work hard to get money, right? You will have different goals and objectives to achieve different tasks, but you don't need to struggle to earn money. As long as you are aligned with your father, you are supporting your father. But if you stay away from father, if you stay away from this richest man, you will have to struggle. But as long as you are under his shelter, you don't need to work for the money. But you may need to work other things, but you don't need to work hardly for the money, right? Same thing. As long as you are there with Krishna, Krishna's mystic powers will help you. You don't need to learn, do all this yoga and achieve those mystic siddhis. You don't need to work on those things. So the next one is, he is the master of the Vedas. Krishna is the master of all the Vedas. So we know from Bhagavad Gita and any other chapters, purpose of all the Vedas is to know Krishna. That is the main conclusion from all the Vedas. So even Brahma Samhita, there was a verse, Vedeshu Durlam Adurlam Atma Bhaktao. So what it is means, if it is very difficult, if you read simply Vedas on your own, you will not be able to understand, you will not get Krishna. Because if you are reading on your own without taking anyone's help, your mind is speculating by reading the words from Veda. But what you need to do, you need to approach an authorized person, bona fide master. From there, when you learn, you will understand Vedas, and from there you will get to know more about Krishna. And there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Ashwastam Prahuravayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yasham Vedasa Veda Vit. The word Veda, last line Veda Vit means knower of the Vedas. No, the knower of the Vedas means who is the knower of the Vedas? We have many references from Bhagavad Gita, but I took one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, where it clearly tells who is the knower of the Vedas. The verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 21, text 42. The translation is like, in the entire world, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava, this one. It's clearly saying, in the entire world, no one but me actually understand the confidential purpose of Vedic knowledge. Krishna is clearly saying this. It is in references 11th canto, 21st chapter, and 42nd verse. This is the conversation between Uddhava and Supreme Lord Krishna. He is clearly mentioning, clearly, there is no confusion. No one is there, entire world, who knows, understand confidential purpose of the Vedas. Only Krishna knows. And in general, if you try to understand Vedas, the Vedas broadly categorized into three parts: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. And what is Karma Kanda? It will tell all the activities you have to perform to get. Suppose if you want more money, do these activities. If you want to get a nice house, or you want to have a nice husband or wife, do these activities. See, they will do all the activities. When you perform those activities, your desires will be fulfilled. But our nature is like, once your desire is fulfilled, you will get more desires. So in this way, you will never be satisfied. So you will keep on entangled in and looking for more desires and fulfilling more desires. So you will not be happy. So those who are into the permanent happiness, when you follow this jnana karma kanda, you will not be feeling happy. Finally, you will see next jnana kanda. You will try to understand, okay, who am I? What is I'm a soul, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. And what is the super soul? Who is super soul? And what is the connection? And with the jnana, with the speculative knowledge, you try to understand absolute truth. But when you follow this path, you will understand only at the Brahman level. Finally, you can go to Brahman level with the jnana kanda. And in the Brahman level, you will not have any Brahmajyoti. When you merge into Brahmajyoti, you will not have any distress, but you will not have any pleasure, happiness also. It will be like you will be in an inactive state. You cannot be inactive. Our mind is such that our consciousness is that we are to always engage in something. Our mind enforces us to engage in something. You cannot be inactive. So finally, you will come back. Then the next one is Upasana Kanda, where you will worship various demigods. But finally, after worshipping demigods, finally you will realize that only Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and you will only worship Krishna. So this is all described in the Vedas. So Krishna is the master of all the Vedas. He knows the actual purpose of the Vedas. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, also in the Madhya Lila, it was mentioned same thing. If by doing the Jnana Kanda and this Karma Kanda, you will not get the love of Godhead. So if you have to get the love of Godhead, obviously, ultimately, you have to approach the bona fide spiritual master. You have to associate with the devotees. You have to do all the 9 processes of bhakti. Then when you do all these things, then only you will be able to get the love of Godhead. And you will become a pure devotee. Otherwise, when you simply executing the Karma Kanda instructions and Jnana Kanda instructions, your mind will be purified, but you will not become a pure devotee. So that is the constraint. So you have to follow worship the Supreme Lord. You take associate with the devotees and do all the Navavida Bhakti, then only you will be able to reach become a pure devotee. So the Vedas, the purpose of the Vedas, and who is the master of all Vedas, and the different sections of Vedas, how it is classified. Just briefly, I was explaining. And next one is the Govinda. He's like in the translation, purport was mentioned. He is the actual pleasure of the senses, right? So Govinda, Go means there are 3 meanings. One is cow, other one is senses, the third one is land. These are the 3. Vinda means pleasure giving. So Govinda, he is giving the pleasure to all these go, cows, senses, and land. So we should know the cows, because in Vrunda, when you know Vrunda, Rajalila, when Krishna is playing flute, all the cows got very much attracted, right? We all know from the pastimes of Vrindavan. And Govinda means the pleasure he gives pleasure to the senses. If you see, if you try to go a little bit deeper, see when we came here, we are in the spiritual world, but we came to material world. The reason is we had a desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. So that is the reason we came to this material world. And we try to, Krishna created all the facilities, this material world with all the facilities so that we can fulfill our desires. But our intention, Krishna's intention is, after some time, you will come back to Godhead, his abode, Goloka. But what we are doing, we try to fulfill the desires of our senses. Once our desire is fulfilled, again you will get more. You will keep on getting more and trying to fulfill more and more. But obviously, what is happening? Your senses are not satisfied. But how it can be satisfied? Govinda, he is giving the, when you turn towards Krishna, when you do service to Krishna, when you do all the devotional activities to Krishna, when you love Krishna, what will happen? Krishna will be satisfied. When the Krishna is satisfied, all our senses will be satisfied. See, if you try to do on your own, if you try to fulfill doing all the material activities, your senses will be not satisfied. Temporarily, maybe for a few minutes, fraction of some time, it may be satisfied, but again, you will be looking for more sense enjoyment. But when you turn towards Krishna, when you do all the devotional activities, when you do all the services, then what will happen? Krishna is satisfied. When Krishna is satisfied, all our senses will be satisfied. How? Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Right? So that is how we can understand. And the third one is land. Wherever Krishna is situated, that land is also, it will produce everything. It will be peace and calm. So it will not have any disturbances. So that is how the Govinda, who gave pleasure to cows, senses, and land. And in one of this second paragraph in the purport, it was mentioning that sometimes devotees are more powerful than Lord. Right? That is also, even though Krishna is Bhagavan, he is the top, no one is more superior than Krishna. But here the word we are saying, sometimes devotees are more superior than Krishna. But that is also, it's mentioned, Krishna as Lord is concession to devotees, right? Anyone remembers any pastime related to this? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. That is one thing. And I can remember the Ambarish Maharaj pastimes, right? So in the Ambarish Maharaj pastimes, we all know that, but I briefly touch on that. So Ambarish Maharaj has to break the Ekadashi fasting on the next day. But Durvasa Muni came and he went for taking bath in the river. Other side, the fast breaking time is finishing. So since when a guest is arrived, the host cannot eat before giving the prasadam to guest. And at the other side, if he doesn't break his fasting, he will not get the result of Ekadashi. So he was in dilemma. Finally, what happened? Based on instructions from his spiritual master, he takes one drop of water to break the fasting. But Durvasa Muni got to know about this. And what he did, he became very angry. He sent from his air, he created a demon and he tried to kill Maharaj Ambarish. Then what happened? Lord Vishnu immediately, Sudarshana Chakra, releases Sudarshana. And it was chasing Durvasa Muni. First he went to Brahma, I think Shiva, various demigods. And finally went to Vishnu. What Vishnu told? Even I can't help. Only you have to go and take seek forgiveness from my devotee. Then only I can, I don't have any control over it now. Then finally what happens? Durvasa Muni came to Ambarish Maharaj and Ambarish Maharaj pays obeisances. Then finally Sudarshana goes back to Lord. So this pastime also shows that, yes, Lord is superior every time, but Lord gives some concessions to the devotees to prove their supremacy. It's all part of Leela. So This is how we can understand from this verse how Supreme Lord is superior than everyone else in this world. So here I conclude here from this today. Any comments? Any? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's what I heard. It starts with the demigods, and then you can also, it contains both demigod worship, then finally you will go to the Supreme Lord worship. That's what. Yes. But yeah, I read in some places, Prabhu, that in Upasana Kand it contains both. Initially you will have a demigod worship as well as then you will move on to the Supreme Lord worship. Even demigod worship is also, demigods nothing but Supreme Lord, they are different limbs of Supreme Lord, right? So that way they are saying you will worship the demigod, then you will move on to the Supreme Lord. Because they are part and parcel of Krishna. They are various different limbs of Krishna. That is a, yeah, yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So the mature yogi, how we can understand from Ashtanga Yoga, if you see, there are different stages, right? There are finally, you will be, at the end of the last stage, you will see Paramatma. That is where you will, the final stages of your yoga practice. You will see you see the Vishnu. When you realize Paramatma, Super Soul, Vishnu, you will see Vishnu. That is the final stage of Ashtanga Yoga. That is where the yoga process stops. So we can say that when you reach that stage, it's like perfection. You reach the final stages of the yoga, perfection of the yoga. No, you don't. It does not guarantee that you will be a devotee. You will see Vishnu, but when you get association with other devotees and when you understand Vishnu whom you are seeing is Supreme Lord, then when you perform devotional activity, then your devotion starts. But Ashtanga Yoga, yeah, you will only see Vishnu. No, it's a. So in this context, we can see like it is like referred to Kardama Muni, and when we also referring to Krishna. So when you referring to Krishna, is a Yogeshwara, master of all yogis. Means whatever yoga, you the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, is master of all yogis. That way you can see that. But in general, I'm saying yoga process is Ashtanga Yoga, and the perfection of that yoga is when you see Super Soul, when you realize Paramatma, that is the final stage. Yes, Prabhu. Khanda, karma. I think it's activities, I guess. If I am correct, it would be activities. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Any question? Hadipurush Prabhu, any comments? Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Nirantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.